Hey everyone, and welcome to the OBT Show.
Hi.
I tried to do my radio voice.
No, you're like, hey everybody, that was the #1 song in the country. You're listening to the OBT Show on YouTube.com.
WNBC. I still can't get
WNBC.
It's still such a good movie. Yeah, hey, I heard something. I heard something happened. It had to do with Batman. Did you hear the same thing?
What a shitty way of doing that. It's so non-conversational.
I know. I wanted it to be very, very fake. I'm trying to do my non...
You're like, hey, did you hear about this new video game, Brendan?
No, I didn't hear.
Well, I read an article, perhaps you did too, about a new Batman game.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
We are unprofessional, goddammit.
You want to start over?
No.
Good.
Because we already have we have to accept that we're shitty.
That's okay. But seriously,
Batman, seriously, new
really
Batman,
for this.
Arkham Origins. I was ecstatic because there was rumors that this was going to be a JOA infused game, like Silver Age tinged. Which those of you who don't know about the Silver Age of comics, it's the most fucked up time of comics.
Yeah, it's where everything's old.
It's also the psychedelic era. It's not the golden era where it's like, hello, citizens. It's like Batman got hit with an LSD bomb. Now he's confused. Or, you know, Batman hangs out with other Batmen of other countries. Like, that's what Grant Morrison pulled from during his lifetime, working on that, his year. Ends up being like 2-3 years worth of Batman books. He actually brought that back, but it was such a weird time in comic books.
I feel like the whole series is set to the soundtrack from Forrest Gump.
Which one? Batman Origins?
No. The Silver Age. Just in the background, I hear is LSD bomb.
Lots of weird stuff. Like
Brendan's not going to be able to finish this.
No,
podcast.
I'm not going to. I can't handle this. There was a lot of weird stuff, like Batman traveling to space. Batman. That's actually where in the Batman R.I.P. book, the Batman of N-Zer-R, which was retconned by Grant Morrison to be. No, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
In the Silver Age, Batman met a Batman from space. That was called the Batman of N-Zer-R. So it's a weird. He was a multicolored outfit, like patched together by quilts.
Dear Lord in heaven!
And like the cowl was messed up, and he was like hyper Batman. He was like, "Hey everybody, how are you?" Like really like crazy. So what in a cool way, Grant Morrison felt that Batman is always prepared for everything. So what happens when Batman is mentally compromised and Bruce Wayne is mentally compromised psychologically, not just physically? Physically, you have an understanding that Batman can save himself.
So you're saying if like Wrath is like the one side of anti-being Batman, this is the other side of anti-Batman?
Right, like almost childlike destruction where he's not even...
Oh, good Lord.
But it was cool because Batman becomes compromised mentally where he's lost his mind. And it kicks in this alter ego of the Batman of N-Zer-R, where he's pretending like he's from space.
Oh, God.
And he puts the patchwork together. But it was cool because he was hyper. He was like almost self-aware that something was wrong. Like there's portions of the book where he's like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. And Batmite is in that version of this book too. Batman's like, you're not, but we're going to work with this. And he's just like really bad. He's like a giant child basically trying to fight people. He's uncoordinated, but it's... While Bruce, in his back of his mind, is trying to recover, this Batman can continue to fight the good fight.
Well, the good thing is that's not happening.
No.
What is happening?
You go ahead and you tell me. You're trying to get me back on track.
I'm trying to get you back on track.
I know. Just go. You explain. I want a pretzel because I'm tired.
No, it's okay. It's basically it's going to be the prequel to Arkham Asylum, and it's more so you putting the people in Arkham Asylum versus you having to deal with them already crazy inside, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you played 2 games with everybody already contained, and you didn't get to do any of the work.
Right. You just, like, clean up.
Yeah, and it was a cool version of Batman, but this is like,
right.
You're going to be Batman, you're going to, put him away.
And I guess it's based, did you read the article? It's based like 8 assassins are trying to kill Batman? That's the premise?
I didn't see that.
No?
No, I read the Batman's coming, and then I read the date, and then I read...
Oh, there's a whole article on...
Oh, so you
I know it more than you do.
You know more than I do.
Bitch.
That wasn't very nice.
No, I'm sorry. I took it to a level that I didn't need to.
I'm so sad.
You don't know about Batman? Stupid!
This is what happens when we cut at the end of the show. Brendan's just abusive and yells at me.
I berate you. You're nothing. You are just a T in the OBT show. I'm the OB.
Andre, there's still bags under my eyes.
Got me.
All right.
So, all right, this is the premise.
8 assassins.
There's 6 or 8 assassins that are being sent by the criminal underworld to kill Batman because he's a year in. He's already causing trouble. So this is his first
young Batman.
Young Batman. So they're bringing it to the beginning called Arkham Origins. Mm-hmm. So the premise is that there's these assassins that are going to eventually grow into who you know today. So the Penguin is featured in it, but they haven't released any design concepts, but he's like a more athletic guy. He's not really the Penguin facade yet. You're already not happy with that.
Go on.
And Deathstroke is in it, but like a young Deathstroke.
I'm fine with that.
But I think they're going to be doing a lot with maybe reimagining characters.
Well, I assume that if they're going to reimagine Joker, it makes sense because Mark Hamill's not doing the Joker voice anymore. And if you don't know, Mark Hamill does the voice of Wolverine in video games and Joker, and God, he's done
all
a bunch.
Of them. Yeah, he's done a lot of them.
He did the animated series and all the games. I love
Mark Hamill.
Oh man, he was so good as Joker. He's like the best Joker.
Every time I read Joker comics, that's his voice.
That's the okay. Good. Yeah. Who was it? DiMaggio did the Under the Red Hood.
Yes.
His was okay. It was almost like a shade of Hamill, but
and I don't know who did Batman Year One, the one that came with Batman Dark Knight.
Oh, I don't know.
That it was animated. It was really weird. It was a part of Gotham Knights. Remember that animated series?
Year One didn't have I know what you're talking about.
Gotham Knights had the vignettes, and one of them had Joker, and I don't know who it was, but it was a weird sounding Joker. It was like an Al Pacino type Joker.
Yeah, and the guy that's doing Joker for the what is it? The new video game that's coming out, the
Injustice.
Yeah, the guy that's doing the Joker voice for that is also weird. I'm not really a huge fan of it.
It was weird. It was very Al Pacino was like, "Ooh, hey Batman," it's kind of like, "You got a great ass," like, it was kind of like,
yeah, that's not the Joker.
Oh, Batman,
he's got to sound
coming along with a batarang.
Not really crazy, but like weird crazy.
But that's what it was.
Al Pacino's really crazy.
He's like, what say you and me hang out sometime? It's sort of like a weird I'm not joking. Go back and watch it.
I'm gonna have to now
because I
wasn't thinking about it. I think when I was watching
it was my half-ass Pacino was what was actually presented in that film. So I'm doing it justice, the film, not doing Pacino justice, but I'm doing that style.
The first time I watched that, I was really really drunk, so I was I was kind of thrown off by how different Batman was each time, and I was just like, I can't. Yeah. I don't even. This is like Enter the Matrix.
Yeah. He goes, oh, look in the sky, it's Batman. Sort of like, what? Why is Al Pacino voicing the Joker? Smell my flower. It's sort of like all that. I could do Joker as Pacino all day on a podcast. Ooh ah.
But I'm okay with them doing a reimagining of Joker since Hamill's not going to be doing the voice.
I think it's going to be cool.
They have to. It's Batman.
I think it's going to be cool but it's not Rocksteady. That's the one thing. It's now Warner Brothers, WB Montreal. That's the new studio doing it.
But they're endorsing it, and they're using the same game engine.
Pretty much in the same fight style, and they're adding their own few tweaks. But they had Stefan Hill, the creative director for both Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, sign off on it basically and say, we're open to them. They've already been leaning on us as far as developmental concerns and questions about the engine. So it's cool. I mean, I guess that's the best thing to do. Maybe Rocksteady's hoping to get the sequel to their series, which I could see maybe they're not as invested as in a prequel.
Oh yeah, no, they're probably looking forward still because
they want that.
They can't be done with Arkham City. That game needs to progress.
I'm annoyed. I'm a little annoyed that we got to wait again. It's sort of like the Metal Gear Solid when they did Snake.
I'm okay with it because we didn't get to. I mean, okay, as far as I'm looking at these series, this is you get to actually be Batman in a video game. No other video games have ever given you
Asylum and City felt that way.
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying the Arkham games, it's the first time in video games where you actually feel like you're Batman. You actually feel like you have his tools, and it's not like the crappy video games that's come out since.
Well, here's the thing that
the Super Nintendo days.
But here's the thing that I'm a little slightly concerned about. Is that when I play a video game and it's a Batman video game, I want to be Batman. Now this but this is a young Batman, and if they start putting in mechanics where he might accidentally forget to be to jump when he should jump, or if they do bullshit. You know what I mean? Are we going to have regular Batman?
They're not going to stop you from playing the game.
But you know what I mean? Or are we going to have like moments where, oops, his batarang doesn't always attach because he's young and inexperienced?
I think that might be done in a cutscene, but not necessarily in
I'm just saying, play. I don't want to be hindered by, I want my gadgets, I want all that cool stuff. I want to be Batman. I don't want to be like, Batman can't glide because he hasn't made his cape yet. You get your cape later. Like, I want to start right with my cape, all my stuff.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, there's mechanics of the game to dictate how much Batman you could be. Like, are you not able to be stealthy yet because you haven't learned stealth? You know what I mean?
I went home today and I learned stealth.
Like, completed tutorial on stealth. Like, you should already be Batman. Like, I want to be the guy that can kick everybody's ass no matter what. I don't want to be the guy that's getting to be that.
He's going to be Batman. I mean, you know, Batman he wasn't trained to become Batman while he was Batman. He picked up how to do it better, but he had, you know, his basic knowledge of everything going into it.
I'm not a fan. Right, I'm curious as to
Brendan
what
has
the
turned
mechanic.
into the poo-pooer this week.
Yeah, I know.
You're poo-pooing all over my. I'm excited. I'm
excited, but I'm tempered. I'm tempering my excitement until I get more info. I want to put in the legwork
that built up to Arkham Asylum. Like, I want to be Batman being Batman out in Gotham, not Batman trapped in a building or Batman trapped in a section of a city.
Well, they also said that they're going to have a Batwing mechanic that you can't fly it, but it'll be fast traveled areas of the city.
That's awesome. Do you see my eyebrows? Do you see how they shot up? Because that's awesome.
Arkham Origins is going to be double the size of City.
That's awesome.
But they're doing a mechanic where there might be, which I think is kind of cool, but you'll have to take down radio towers that are blocking your ability to call your Batwing, and it'll be I guess Far Cry 3 had a mechanic like that. But it's different. I've never played Far Cry 3, but I guess this is complicated. But they'll be, it's kind of cool. They're doing areas where you can't take all the towers down at once. You need to unlock things. So there are some mechanics that I'm okay with. But I guess my concern would be: am I going to be able to really truly be Batman, or am I going to be hindered badly because I'm inexperienced Batman? That's not quite the Batman.
Well, I mean, in the Arkham games so far, you've had to level up stuff.
Right? But I still felt like I was Batman and I could kick everybody's ass.
I feel like they're gonna keep it similar where you can upgrade things, but you'll have your basic set of tools ready to go.
Right.
Like from the get go.
I don't know if I like that.
Like when you start.
I don't like that.
It'll be like preemie versions of Batman tools. Be like, he has his cape. It kind of glides, but it's got tatters, so he's gonna
hook. But I don't have a projection for that hook. I have half a bat. What do I call this?
He's talking to the comic book artist. Draw me in something that I can use to take down my assailant.
I wish there was a way to look through buildings. Something like a detective mode. Like, if it says that, I'll be like, this is dumb.
It's not going to happen.
I know. But could you imagine, though, just the hilarity that would ensue if that was actually what was there?
Do you know how many people would return that game in a day if they did something that stupid?
I wish I could control my batarang after I throw it.
With a...
note to self.
Remote control.
And then he looks toward the camera and goes, get it? Because that's coming in the sequels.
I wish I had a place where I could put all of these criminals. Well, they're doing, and there's the other thing. They said that they're doing Arkham Origins Blackgate.
As a iOS game. Yeah, I'm like, I don't give a shit about that.
That's still cool.
I don't think so.
You were just a poo-pooer.
I am.
You're a Batman poo-pooer. You were probably poo-pooing Arkham Asylum when it was announced.
No.
I don't want to do Arkham Asylum.
No, stop. I wasn't because I was Batman. Shut your face. I was Batman then. That was like, you are already Batman.
I'm saying you're poo-pooing it before it came out because you're just...
I'm saying you need to shut your face.
You don't want good things to happen to you. That's it.
No.
What happened to you when you were younger involving Batman? We're getting deep here at the OBT Show. Don't joke.
I almost choked on the pretzel.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm tempering my excitement because it's not Rocksteady. First of all, that made me a little disappointed. And second, I want to make sure that I'm going to really, truly be Batman and not just a half-assed Batman to start.
I'm okay with it not being Rocksteady.
All right.
And okay, like what you said before, in my head, the way I see them doing is they're planning something else. They're busy working on something. So if they were to if they were doing this Origins game, it would take away from whatever they're trying to progress. So they gave it to another studio, basically like, hands down say that we're comfortable with them doing it and we're giving them things to help them make the game.
Right.
Maybe there's the third game in the series, essentially, without the Origins game, is being worked on right now.
Now I feel better about everything. See, if you just told me that up front.
But I don't know that. I'm in my head. I'm hoping.
What?
I know it's a lie. It's all a lie. All right, human Chewbacca.
I can't do it.
I can't do it either. It's so bad.
I am human. I'm like,
hey. I heard something. Did you hear this? Brendan beat Bioshock.
Wait, I did? Oh, that's right.
Did you hear that?
Is that next on our list?
Where Chris makes Brendan lose everything on the show.
Losing my faith in the show. Losing my mind because you're terrible intros.
Hey. How was that game?
Speaking of video games, I heard you had a fun experience with a video game called...
That's worse.
Bioshock.
At least I sound like the creepy guy in the corner trying to sell drugs. You sound like a robot.
Did you like that game? Beep, boop, boop. I did.
It looks like fun.
It's fun. The game is... I'm going to spoil the game. I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about the ending. I want to talk about the ending. Why can't I talk about the ending?
Don't do it. You're going to poo-poo it.
No, I'm not. I'm actually really excited about the ending.
Can you like sum it up as mindfuck, or is it worse than that?
I need to fully explain it.
But I have no idea.
But I'm going to explain it to you, and then I want you to see what you think.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
So now if I play the game, it's going to be ruined.
Well, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
You're making me sad.
I'm making you sadder. I love the game. I can modify. I was all prepared to talk about.
Okay, talk about that. It's actually not going to ruin it for me because I'm not going to play.
You're not going to play it. That's why I knew you were going to play it.
I was waiting. The last time I was saying, I was like, oh, look at it, but I'm not going to play it.
You don't care about it.
I don't care.
You ass. Well, the story you play, Booker DeWitt, first time that they actually kind of give you a name in the Bioshock series.
Did you just spoil the character's name?
No. Shut up.
Man, you were just on fire.
It's on the art.
Oh, it's on the box.
It's on the box art. Yeah, so okay. Booker DeWitt, tasked to find a girl named Elizabeth in the city. I'm blanking on the name of the city.
Psychic girl, right?
Psychic girl, right? She has all these things. So then you go up to the city. It's all in the sky. Clouds, very awesome. They introduce a game, a skyhook mechanic where you can fly around all over. Yeah, and then you are going after this guy named Comstock, who is built up as this religious zealot who is selling the Cloud City. I really wish I had the name of the city. The Cloud City. It's going to bother me all podcast.
You can look over at that Bioshock thing, or you can look at the game case that you played from. Now in the commercials,
the name
this
of
old guy.
You keep talking about it.
Is he the one that in the commercial where they got her around in the noose, and he skyhooks down to go save her?
Yes, that's part of it.
Okay, okay, that guy.
It's that guy.
Man,
the really city of Columbia. Thank you.
Columbia. Oh.
You would think after all that time it took it be like a really hard name. I'm like, it's already an existing place, Columbia. I'm just an idiot. So you have to go to Columbia, and throughout the progression of the game, there's things that are really, really weird. The first thing you notice is that there's a barber. It's set in 1912, and there's a barbershop quartet.
Yes,
I talked about this already.
Yeah, you gave me the brief setup
on the air.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So blah blah blah. So now that happens. So there's little moments where you think the time's shifting. There's something to do with time travel.
Okay.
So you get to the end, and basically what you realize is that Elizabeth, the character you have, has the ability to open up time tears. So you can use it in a fun game mechanic of bringing in shelter or a automated gun. And in storyline, it can open up tears to new worlds. So at one point, you are able to knock out this tower that's controlling and dampening her powers. The first thing she does is there's this giant mechanical bird that's attacking you throughout the series that is her protector. She opens up a tear, and you're in Rapture, the city from the first game. And then the animal is in the water. So the animal, that's my eyes went wide too, just like yours are. So
wait. Every single person that I asked about this game, and I said, is it set in a world, like in a time before Rapture? And everyone's like, no. It's in a completely different world. It's like a new Earth. And I'm like,
and yes, that is. Let me finish because they're correct.
They are correct. Okay, all right. So go on.
So your character goes, what is this place? Obviously, you play Bioshock, and it's literally the first level of the game. And you see the bird animals start to die. And in the distance, if you look out, in one of the other tubes, you see a big daddy and a little sister watching this happen. So then Elizabeth now has a realization. And at this point, Elizabeth knows exactly what's going on. She knows why Comstock knows everything about your player and knows what's going to happen. There's also a brother and sister duo that are in the game that are always like oddly popping up, and they're really weird. There's a point where they ask you to flip a coin, heads or tails, and then you click. You see on his sandwich board, he has all the hash marks are on heads. And he goes, oh, well, that was disappointing. And she goes, oh, don't be disappointed, Charles. It always happens that way. He goes, but just once, I'd like something different. And when he's walking away, you see the back of his sandwich board. It's all heads. It's like hundreds of marks. So you're like, this is really weird. Like, this seems like people are talking to you like there's deja vu.
They already know you.
That they already know you. And there's different time tiers. So then what you realize is that...
Wait. So if you pick tails, does that mean that when you turn and you see the thing, it's all on
It's
tails?
always heads.
It's always heads?
It's always going to be heads.
Always going to be heads, okay.
So you can choose tails as an option, but it's going to be heads.
Oh, you mean the okay.
So they're marking not what you choose, but what the result
what the
is.
coin is. Yeah, okay. Bless you.
Allergies. So that's sort of the context. So you get to Rapture.
That the bird?
Yeah, that's the bird. You can take a look
I'm
at it.
going to look at the bird while you're talking.
So while Booker DeWitt is I know, right? It's weird. So while Booker is like asking,
the fuck, because this thing is weird.
So while Booker's trying to comprehend what's going on, Elizabeth goes, "There's always a man, there's always a city, and there's always a girl." And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So you go in the bathysphere, and then at the beginning of Bioshock Infinite, you are ascending a tower, much like you ascend in Bioshock.
Yeah, when you're like
right. So then when you then leave, you are going out through a tower, and it's the original Bioshock tower, but now there are infinite towers. And you're walking, and the ground is moving up as you walk toward whichever tower you want to go. And as you're walking, you see other Booker DeWitts and Elizabeths that are in different clothes, different styles, walking opposite you and going all different directions. And she's saying that these towers are portals to different eras and different worlds. That there's things happening simultaneously. Prior to that, the game relies heavily on religious themes. So there's baptism in the beginning of the game where you have to be baptized before you enter Columbia. And
interesting.
And it's about washing away sins, and that's sort of like Columbia is a new start. Like that's the whole concept. So then, and it's also meant. So then, there's a point in the game where you are at a baptism, and it's like your baptism, and Elizabeth goes, "You were baptized after a wounded knee because you're a soldier." Mm-hmm. And your character at that moment goes, "No, I'm not doing this." And she goes, "Well, you did at one point." And you're like, "What the hell's happening?" So another tear opens. You go in, you're in your apartment. You have a baby girl that you forget about. And there's a mark on your arm the whole game that says AD. And it's also what's on posters in Colombia of AD is the mark of the prophet, the false prophet. Beware of him. So everybody's primed to get you. AD stands for Annabelle DeWitt, your daughter, which you forget that you have. And there's an opening line where I think it's actually on here that is quoted by one of the sister and the brother sister duo you randomly find. The mind of the subject will desperately struggle to create memories where none exist. So you're now kind of piecing together that something is wrong. This you might have done this before. So then the brother is at your door saying, "Give us the girl, and your debt is paid off," meaning his debt from bookies and drinking and all that other stuff. So you give the girl away, and as you're running toward Comstock. And you're trying to get your girl away. And what you realize, and throughout the game, it's a very noticeable thimble on her pinky. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth it does not reference. You see it in cutscenes where she's waving her hands, and I missed it. And there's like 9 different cutscenes where it's somewhat referenced in the visual.
But it's important.
It's important because there's a portal, there's a tear that opens. As your Booker DeWitt, you're reaching out for your daughter. You're reaching out for your daughter, and the tear is closing, and it closes just on the tip of her pinky. And then the pinky falls down.
So that's why she's wearing a thimble, because...
Elizabeth is your daughter. And you don't realize that till the very end of that moment.
So the whole game, you're playing as you're her dad.
Yes.
So you're Big Daddy.
In a way, yeah, you can make that connection if you wanted to.
Dear Lord in heaven, they really had to.
Well, no, but they don't make you become a Big Daddy. But there's that
no, but I mean,
relationship.
It's just
there's that relationship that is
pairing between the
right. But there's I never even really thought of that connection. I mean, it's not an overt connection, but you can make that somebody taking care of a child, same thing. So then. This is where it gets really trippy. There's another sequence.
Oh, I thought that was the trippy shit. No, it gets worse.
It gets
okay,
worse.
all right, that's cool.
Throughout the game...
Hold on, let me just pop a couple tabs before you tell me this, because I want to see the colors around your head.
I know, right? So there's another sequence
the Prophet Brendan's going to tell me about the game.
Columbia! There's little audio notes that you can pick up along the way, and it's revealed that Comstock is sterile. So he can't have children because he keeps going through the tears.
So he wants your child. Because you can have
Here's
children.
where it goes. Here's where it gets really fucked up.
Oh, God.
There's a sequence where, again, they go back to the baptism.
You're Comstock.
Let me get to the reveal.
Okay, all right.
You go back to the baptism, and your character is kind of realizing what's going on. And saying,
so this is the baptism at Wounded Knee? Or this is
right after Wounded Knee in the south somewhere.
Okay, so wait. Now, so he got baptized twice.
Yes. Once when he enters Columbia, and then once years ago.
Okay, so we're at Wounded Knee.
So now you're at a time like 10 years before the events of what's happening in your game.
Okay.
All of a sudden, multiple Elizabeths start popping up. And one of them goes, "You're Comstock." The other one goes, "You're Booker DeWitt." Your Elizabeth pops up between the two of them that say either one. It goes, "You're both." The idea and the concept is that because of all the time travel, Booker DeWitt at one point accepts the baptism. He accepts the Lord. He gets insane. He becomes Comstock, the preacher. The other Booker DeWitt that you've been playing as is the different time stream where you deny and reject the baptism and you live on as your life. You have children. You're not sterile anymore because you're going through tears. And your Comstock comes back. Your future self goes back through the tear to get your daughter because you want your daughter back. So the ends with Elizabeth saying, "You're both, and this is the only way that this ends," and she kills you. She dunks you in the water. The concept being, if you die at the point of baptism, there is no Comstock, there is no Booker DeWitt, there is no daughter. So all the Elizabeths start popping away, and then the final one is your Elizabeth, and she fades to black.
Yeah, but you're dead.
But there is a cutscene after the credits that you're back in your office and you hear your daughter crying and you go, "Annabelle?" And you kind of hear a little baby and then it ends. Now, people have debated what that means. I've read some articles that mean it's a happy ending, that he is back with his daughter, that nothing happened. I read it as the cycle continues. That's why it's called Bioshock Infinite, because there's infinite possibilities. I think you don't necessarily kill off all the time streams. I think you killed off that one particular branch that had a lot of branches to it.
All the extra crap.
Right, but I think it still exists. And the thing that really is unnerving is that it is such a critique. It's almost a meta critique on gaming, where, think about it, when you play a game over and over and over again,
you die and respawn.
Your rebirth. It's an alternate. You have to think of it that when you think of it that concept, like when even just simplistic as Mario Brothers, you die, fall down the well. Well, there's a version of a time stream where you jump over that well.
Yeah, and you skip down.
And you skip that.
Yeah.
And then you piece it together, and you're like, holy shit! Because there's moments where in the tower, as you're ascending, you see a guy that was killed with a note that says, "Be careful, they're watching you." You have to punch in 123 to open up the gate. All the markings. The concept is that that's your 123rd time trying to save your daughter, and you've failed along the way. And the brother and sister pairing are the ones that are trying to get you to help them because they are stuck with Comstock and they know he's an evil bastard now. But the only way to do it is to play with these tears because they're too far gone. So you realize too, they're the ones that were rowing you out in the first place, and they're saying things like, "Do you think he'll?" There's a change that's so banal when you first hear it.
Yeah.
And it's like about rowing. And then I played it again a second time, and I really listened to them and stopped paying attention to what was shown to me on the screen when you're checking out your arsenal.
Yeah, when you're like looking at things, you're like, oh, look at my
look at my gun, look at this. I'm like, what's that note say? And she's having a conversation where will you help with the rowing? And the brother goes, he's not going to help. You know that already. And she goes, well, I thought I'd try one more time. He goes, why do you keep trying? You know that's not going to change. And then you're like,
that's messed up.
And then he's leaving, and your character goes, well, is anybody going to meet me? He goes, well, shouldn't certainly hope not. And then you're like, oh my God, because there probably was a version where there's a guy waiting in the tower, because Comstock also understands what's happening, trying to kill you, probably kills that Booker DeWitt, and then they have to start all over again.
And then, okay, so essentially what starts the process that, of your 123rd attempt? Like, what starts the crazy?
They create the tear, and the idea is that your character can't comprehend what's happening at first, so that's why, again, the quote, the mind of the subject, meaning you, will desperately struggle to create memories where none exist.
So basically, he gets grabbed into this world, and he doesn't really have any memory of what happened before.
Right.
He's just going...
Because they keep going back in time and pulling him and cycling and cycling. So they keep restarting, much like you restart a game over and over, any game you've ever played.
Oh, that's deep.
So again, it's like a Call of Duty game. If you keep dying, you restart. What if all of those times you played a game over and over again existed?
So does that mean that some version of him is in Rapture?
It could make, but the other thing that really people are really stretching, this is where it gets really weird.
Okay, go on.
This is where it gets really fucking weird, because I forgot this piece of the story to Bioshock. The bathyspheres that you use to travel from stage to stage.
Yeah, in
Bioshock, you realize that they are. There's a audio thing that says they're keyed into the genetic code of Andrew Ryan. And then there's a security guy that's laughing. He's like, but we realize it can pertain to anybody. Cousins, family, long-distance cousins. Anybody can operate the damn things. In that game, it's revealed that you were actually his son in some ways, a genetic makeup of Andrew Ryan.
Yeah.
So someone made the point, well, if that's what the standard is and you are in Rapture when you are as Elizabeth Booker DeWitt, why are you then able to use the bathysphere as Booker DeWitt?
Because he's genetically linked to Andrew Ryan.
The concept being, again, this is yet another like, holy shit.
Oh, man.
Is Bioshock then one of the infinite possibilities? And this is where it gets really tricky.
So then if essentially he dies because the girl's shoving his head in the water,
right,
does that mean there's no Bioshock? Because essentially that
No, or does this mean Elizabeth has the ability to time travel so much that she is now interjecting herself into other time streams with other people? Remember, she says there's always a man, there's always a girl, and there's always a city.
Yeah, but no, see, that doesn't make any sense now. So what you're saying is, man, this is deep.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to grasp it. Okay. She's ripping these rifts.
Right.
And one of the rifts that she rips open is to Rapture.
Right.
Okay. Now, is she ripping this because he needs to go there, or just because it happens?
The idea is that she needs a place to go, and maybe at some point she, in her ripping, she
runs
knows what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe she read about it. That's the concept too. She reads about Paris, she can open up to Paris. If she read about Rapture in some books because of the fact that Comstock's been time traveling so much, or maybe she has an awareness of it, or she just, now that her powers are fully realized, she can just do that and has the knowledge, and wherever she wants to go in time, she can go. So now, she's traveling forward and backward. And again, it makes sense because, in some ways, because of the music aspect, where it's revealed that the composer, that's a famous composer from Columbia, just so happens to have a rip in his home that he can listen to music from the 70s, 1970s, 80s, and 90s. And recreate it as his own. So he made millions.
Ah, that's why you're saying, yeah.
That's why, because there's a Fortunate Son that's sung as a spiritual in the middle of the game.
Makes sense.
Which is cool. And then there's some other things too, like Girls Want to Have Fun is the tear that's open and it's the original recording. Wow. So the idea being that's Elizabeth can travel, and there's a point too where she travels to...
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry. Well, she opened... spoiler, P.S.
The entire game has just been ruined. Internet.
Well, she opens up a tear, right? And she's watching...
So she's not creating worlds by opening the tears. They're just opening existence to another world.
Right.
So you're saying it's like where... Have you ever read Myst or played the video games? Okay, yeah. So the books they can be looked at as one of two things. Like when you write down all the things in the book, are you creating the world and then going into the world of your creation? Or are you writing down the exact link to a world that already pre-existed prior to you putting your hands, inside?
Right.
So, I mean, if he dies because she kills him and then that resets everything, would Rapture still be in existence because of that?
I would say yes.
But it wouldn't.
But it wouldn't be that. But there's always a man. There's always a city. There's always a girl. So I think the concept is, wherever you wind up, there's always that unending storyline in the Bioshock world. Okay,
it would just be. It
might be somebody different.
It couldn't be the exact thing though. It would have to be like a shade of
Rapture. Shade of it. Right.
Okay. All right.
So maybe that's why genetic coding is, and this is the thing that's really fucked up. This is the part where I went, I don't know if I believe this, but I want to because it's so awesome.
Was this something somebody said, or
this is somebody pulled a clip from Bioshock, and there's a point in it where at 14 seconds you hear something that sounds exactly like the same howl that Songbird screams when you bring him into Rapture.
Are you trying to? Yeah, hold on. I just want to.
Yeah.
Make sure I prepare this.
Make
properly.
sure, yeah.
You're trying to suggest to me that somebody said that in the original Bioshock,
yes,
they added the sound in there to then readdress it in Bioshock Infinite, a game that has been separated by 6 or 7 or 8 years worth of.
Yes.
To then say that they knew all along that this is where they were going to go.
Yes.
That's really fucking no.
But I want to believe.
I'm getting
so
goosebumps
badly.
Thinking about it. That's really. I mean,
because it's almost like while you're playing Bioshock 1 at that point,
while
you're in Bioshock 1 playing, Infinite is also taking place, and it's all just happening together.
That is just. That's too much. I don't know. I don't want to play video games anymore.
But then it's like,
stick with movies.
But then I felt like a dummy because it's like, well, now I know why it's called Infinite, because
there's infinite,
and you're playing into the concept too, where it's like if you're going to play this game again, you're already you're buying into the story, you're contributing to the storyline.
Yeah,
you're not just seeing it, but you're contributing to the concept of like, holy shit, here we go again. You know what I mean? Like, and things can change, you can die, and all this other crap, and it's just bizarre, man.
So wait, do things in the game change because of the way you play it? It's not that
in depth.
They're very linear, but they craft it in a way that makes you like creeped out.
Yes, because when you play with the knowledge that you are Comstock, which I did again, I'm like, oh, this is really weird. Like, now I'm picking up on things and things that he says and things that are posted and things that people in the town are saying. We're like, oh, this is weird. This is really weird.
So so when he's pulled into this Columbia world,
right?
This okay. So that's is this now that? So what they're saying is the go-to world, and then everything else is, like Columbia, on the outside of it.
Yeah, if they're bringing him into Columbia already exists, and the world is existing. The world continues to exist, but they're manipulating the time stream to have different possibility.
So his daughter is just somewhere in a room wherein he is in this game.
Right.
Essentially. And then when he finally realizes that, then he's back with her. Now, does time cease, or is he just...
That's the question.
Oh, man,
that final scene, what does that mean? I take a look at it, it means the cycles continue, that there's something that they haven't quite killed yet. Now, there's story DLC that's coming.
I mean, he can still have a daughter, but not, have... I don't know.
There's story DLC coming, though. Three stories.
Oh, good.
Now, whether or not that adds to...
Did you get the?
I got the season pass.
The season pass. Okay,
yeah, so
I might actually come over here and watch it while you're playing.
I know. Too bad. I would have played it from the save point, but I started a new game, so I'm not able to play it from.
What? No. I meant like when you get the DLC, because now you've already explained it to me, so I'm going to be like, all right, well, I have kind of an understanding what's going on.
It really messes with your head because it really plays off the concept, and that's sort of what the first Bioshock did with the would you kindly mechanism, where you're like, holy shit, I am following this guy, because you do it anyway in a game, which was so cool.
Hey, did you hear that Brendan just blew my mind because he's a douche?
I'm sorry, but you said you were going to play this game.
No, I'm not mad. I say you're a douche because you blew my mind.
Yeah.
My mind's blown. It's all over the place.
It's gross in here.
There's a big splatter behind where I'm sitting.
Too bad we don't have video, because you would see grossness.
You would see it.
But it is such a, like, you're like, holy shit. Like, I didn't really expect this, nor did I want this in some ways. You're like, this makes me sad, because I feel like I got fooled, but like in a good way.
Well, no, that's good because that's not a cheap ploy. Right. That's not like oh, hey, at the end of the thing, you were just this guy the whole time. There's there's a very, 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 very structured path to you finding out that information, not just, bam, we're going to throw it at you so that way you go like, oh, well, I don't want to play the game where I'm just already, I want to play the game where I'm ripping into other worlds and, hey, Rapture exists. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's craziness.
So then, are these different planets essentially that they're ripping into, or is this just different points in time?
I think it's different points in time.
Okay, so then in my head, I'm still correct in saying Rapture occurs after this, because this is set earlier than it.
Yes.
So that's what I was trying to say, because everyone was telling me that this doesn't occur during that. But I mean, because of the infinite possibilities thing, it's different.
And I think also they didn't really play up on that either when the game. They're like, this is a different world. True, you're not underwater, but in different time. But you can make the case that now that you've seen Rapture and Infinite, that okay, Rapture is going to happen in this game.
Well, I mean, I like the idea of like parallel worlds and stuff like that. Like you wake up one day and in this world, you picked up that glass with your right hand instead of your left hand.
Right.
And then that creates another set of infinite possibilities that just because of what happened, but it's not different points in time. It's just every decision you make branches and branches and branches. So there's millions of worlds and millions of decisions because, you decided to sneeze at 502 instead of 503.
Instead of 503, right.
Yeah.
And that changes things.
So I'd be more okay with understanding, I guess, that game if it's if they're just saying you're just jumping back and forth through time. If you're jumping back and forth between worlds...
No, I don't think so. I think you're doing time. Time only. It's time travel.
Okay. That's where I was having a hard time grasping it, because I was just like, this just...
I know, right?
I can't.
It's hard. It's really hard to understand. I mean, it's still hard
I'm sure some kids were probably playing this game like, I'm just going to play it again so I can shoot some stuff.
I know. People are like, I'm like, that's beautiful. Others be like, that fucking sucked. I wanted to kill somebody.
So do I get to kill the guy at the end, or do I... Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, you're
dead. This game sucks.
Yeah. What's with all these dumb cutscenes and talking?
Man, I miss Call of Duty when they just said press X to throw the hatchet at him.
I wish I could kill that guy in slow motion. Like a Michael Bay film.
Got him.
I think that's in Black Ops, right? There's slow motion where he's on a roof. It's on every single one,
I think it was in Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1... Modern Warfare 2, where they had a slow-mo event.
Terrible. But this is different, and it ends abruptly enough where you're like, oh, wow. Like, I'm still, like, I'm playing through.
Were you afraid to, like, go to the bathroom afterwards? Because you think, like, if you wait a little bit longer, something else might happen.
But finally, when I got back to the load screen, I was like, I feel better.
I know it's over now.
I know it's over now. But there's a 1999 mode on this where Ken Levine basically said it's like a hardcore mode. Because he felt like that was like a really good time in shooters, 1999.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it because I'm not that great at shooting, but I'm playing hard mode and I'm getting my ass kicked, so I know I'm going to get my ass kicked in hardcore.
Yeah. I don't know how people play on that infinitely hard infinite.
Were you meant to say that?
I don't know. In some world, I didn't say infinite.
Thurston Infinite. Does Chris say that, or does Chris fart? Thurston Infinite.
Or does he fart?
Does he shart or fart? Thurston Infinite.
I beat Dishonored.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
It wasn't that.
No, not very high concept.
No, not really. It was just you're done, and you either did a good job along the way, or you did a bad job along the way. And if you're Chris Thurston, you did a bad job along the way.
You were telling me you have an old controller, because that game relies heavily on stealth.
Oh my god. Okay, so if I press up, sometimes it likes to stay up.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying attention to that because I'm so wrapped in this, like, I am in the shadows, I am going to jump down, and I'm going to knock this guy out and then put him in a trash can so he doesn't get eaten by rats.
Yeah.
However, my controller does not agree with that. My controller's like, are we on the light post, or are we on the ground? Or are we right in front of all the guards? Yeah. Oh, hey, look, they know you're here. And this is before I knew how to blink. So I'm just like, kill everything! I'm running around just slashing things. And I was like, well, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to, like, sneak around everybody. Like, I look at my controller and I talk to it a little bit.
You're shooting everybody in the head.
Meanwhile, they're just staring at you like, did he just kill all those guys? I don't think he wanted to play that way. No. He didn't look like he wanted to play that way.
Those games have like the zombie people. They're creepy.
When you look at them, you're waiting for them to blink.
I know, they're really creepy. But that's a fun. I like that game a lot.
I love the art style of that game. Yeah. I liked it when they were building it.
Bethesda made it.
Yeah, it's just when they were showing like the pre shots and drawings and stuff. I was just like, this game looks pretty. I like it.
I know. There's some DLC. I don't think I'm going to get it though.
I showed you I sent you the trailer. You had already seen it. I would play that.
Just explain what it is.
Well, it's essentially you get to in the main game you play as Corvo, and he is the protector of the Empress, and she ends up, not alive,
dead,
very dead,
and Thurston Infinite.
Another assassin type guy kills her, and eventually later on in the game you do get to run into this character, which was cool. It was awesome. Like that part was awesome.
I like that. Yeah, that was cool.
So the DLC is you play as the guy that assassinates the Empress, and then I guess there's it's the build up to I guess where he has his interaction with Corvo. Yes. Now, what would be cool is if you played the first game, and then when you played the DLC after, whatever happens to him in that last scene is because of what happened in
the first.
Yeah, because I didn't kill him. I didn't
kill him either.
I went up behind him and went, and then dropped him on the ground. And I was like,
too.
And then I robbed him and then ran.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool if I was like in the middle of that scene where I'm pacing around the desk and I'm like, all right, I know he's coming.
Yeah.
Is he going to kill me in this game? And then just all of a sudden just...
Well, that'd be cool. Like if you're a forced mechanic, like you couldn't move, you had to just keep pacing, and then depending upon what you did, you didn't know when it was going to happen. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Don't give me anxiety watching that, just knowing that's going to happen. Like,
it's awesome.
My last playthrough, I killed him. I don't want to die yet. I don't want to...
I'm too young to die.
Infinite possibilities.
Thurston Infinite. I'd play that game.
Thurston Infinite.
Thurston Infinite.
Which video game did Chris play today? Find out next time.
How many beers did he have? 20 or 40? Thurston Infinite.
Yeah, I don't want to play the world where Chris had 40 beers. That's a scary world.
But you've been to that world.
I gotten close, but not 40.
Not 40 is a high number.
That's a good solid whole day of drinking.
I've done like 15 to 20.
That's
fun. Not something I'm proud of.
You should be proud of that.
O'Brien Infinite.
O'Brien Infinite. Did he fall over after 2 beers?
O'Brien's sadness. He's an animal. Hey, man, we've spent like most of our time talking about... We need to wrap this bad boy up.
I'm still like trying to like...
I know, right?
Recap my brain. Hey, brain, how you doing? You remember all that stuff that Brendan said that's still going to be in there, so good luck.
You're like, what if I use my left hand? Open the door instead of my right.
No, I like.
What if I use my right instead of my left?
When I that stuff doesn't bother me. Like when I was in high school, I wrote a opinion column because I was on the school newspaper, and I wrote an opinion column on parallel universes and quantum physics and stuff like that because I thought that stuff was interesting at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I still think it's interesting. The time stuff is the stuff that I don't really understand as much, but I'm okay with it being time stuff in that because the infinite possibilities as far as like every single decision you make creates a different world. That is just because essentially what would happen is if he gets taken out, then there is no rapture. But if it's a time thing and it's not, dependent on one action or the other, and then which leads to rapture being created or not being created, it can still exist in in its own right.
Those are our minds being blown.
Both blown. Double blown minds. I have to really make sure I say minds at the end of that sentence.
Double blown mind. Double blown. Brendan and Chris just got double blown. Is there anything else
we were going to talk about? Because I feel like...
Well, I feel like we can talk about the Superman thing next week.
No. We need to at least interject that. So
bring it in. You're really passionate about it.
This will interject some rage right at the end. They're going to be like, oh, we're okay with being done with listening to this episode? What?
Chris got angry. Go.
No, I am angry. Okay, so apparently there's no kryptonite in the Superman movie that's coming out. What the fuck?
I think it's fine. I'm fine with it. Introduce it in a sec. Don't. This
Doors
is my
over there.
This
Doors
is my
over
apartment.
there. You can leave. You don't need this apartment if you believe that
Fine.
a Superman. Okay. I'm okay with. It depends on how they address it.
Yeah.
The way they made it sound is like we're creating new frailties for him. So does that mean that there's never going to be kryptonite in this storyline?
I think that's a good lead into Lex Luthor and the second film. You don't want to bring it all out at once. Have the final. This is the final scene. Lex Luthor is operating a mining company.
They said that like one of the interviews they said that like apparently like his birth was special or something like that. So he already had some special stuff going on his home planet. That's not supposed. I mean, Superman's not special till he's Superman.
I know, but I'm thinking final.
Besides being an alien.
Picture this final scene. Luthor Corp is mining. They find the green mineral that he's been looking for, that he's been researching. He picks it up, he holds it, and he goes, finally, end scene, end it. Yeah, guess what? You have a sequel now. You're welcome.
But I don't know. I'm sorry. No. Kryptonite is important. It's very important.
Let it happen in a second.
I'm going to let you stop poo-pooing. You're the poo-pooer this week.
I'm poo-pooing. I'm average.
I let you ruin a video game and spoil it, and you poo-pooed on me afterwards and beforehand. All around. Poo-pooing everywhere.
I diarrheaed in a circle around here.
I don't know. I just, I got scared once I heard that it wasn't going to be mentioned in a Superman movie, so that's just like, okay, it has to exist, though. It's not something that can just not exist for Superman. And if they completely take it out, I don't even like Superman. Why the fuck am I arguing this? Batman
really
rules. Woohoo! It's for story.
Yeah, I know.
It's like when they said, like for Walking Dead, and for people that don't read the comics, Tyrese was a huge character, and he wasn't introduced until the 3rd season.
Yeah.
Like, if they said that there was going to be no Tyrese, I'd say, like, fuck you, I don't want to watch this shit anymore because you just ruined an awesome character.
Fuck you, I don't want to watch this shit.
You don't take things away. You have to supplement them or strengthen them. And you don't supplement kryptonite.
No.
So you can't take it away. So you have to make it better.
I'm holding out for the sequel.
I hate you.
I hate you more. No, you don't.
But also, there is no Christopher Nolan Batman in...
No, which is sad.
No, that's awesome.
I wanted a little Batman.
I mean, if you look at it from... They really, really, really want to isolate it as its own Batman world. Totally fine with that because...
Yeah, but they introduced a new Batman.
That opens up all of the characters in Batman that you would never see in a Christopher Nolan.
Right.
Clayface.
Right.
Never would appear.
Right.
Poison Ivy.
Never would appear.
Never would appear.
The
real Poison Ivy, not like...
Mad Hatter's also an iffy one.
Yeah. Deathstroke.
I thought you said Deathstroke. I'm like, that's G.I. Joe.
No.
Deathstroke.
That's what I said. I'm sorry, I didn't...
like Deathstroke?
I didn't...
Deathstroke.
Enunciate that word, yeah. I'm tired, sorry.
You're tired? It's okay. We're going to wrap it up now. We're wrapping it up.
We're wrapping it up.
Chris, what'd you learn?
No, you start with what you learned.
No, I asked you. What'd you learn?
Because you didn't learn anything.
No, I did.
You learned me.
I think we're going to leave it at that.
You learned my mind.
We learned each other.
No, okay, what did I learn
today?
We're
making out right now.
That the possibilities with Bioshock is fucking infinite. And... I'm really not okay if that sound effect is actually in there. I want to find an actual authentic clip of the game. I'll replay Bioshock just to get to that scene because I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with them saying that they knew that early in advance. And there's no way that they knew that.
Okay, we're gonna find out. We'll play it. I'm playing it right back now, so I'm trying to get to that point again.
No. I mean, the
right, but I'm playing the original. But like you said, I want to watch the original.
Are you playing? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay.
So I'll let you know.
See, this is why we're friends because you knew.
Yeah, I knew we were gonna go. That's why I'm like, I have to find this myself.
See, because you had.
Yeah.
Like that's mind-boggling if they had that.
And then there's an automatic update of like 2 megabytes. And I was like, I better not be a goddamn song. Better not be added in now.
They added it in after, like, oh, dude, it's totally there.
I was like, no.
Hold on. Yeah, we thought of that the first time.
It's all real.
Okay, I'm done.
What did I learn? Ask me.
What did you learn?
I'm sorry I shit on you.
You were a poo-pooer this week. It's okay. It's fine. No, because, I mean, your poo-pooing was reasonable. It wasn't unreasonable poo-pooing. So it's not really poo-pooing. It's like healthy poo-pooing. You weren't shooting out little driblets. Nice big log right on my head.
We hope you enjoyed listening. I'm Brendan.
I'm Chris.
Have a good one.